Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something right now. Everybody in this room been wondering, trying to figure out that million-dollar question, when do men really fall in love? See, women out here thinking it's when she cooks him his favorite meal, or when she puts on that dress he likes, or maybe when she posts that picture with him on Instagram. No, that ain't it. That's surface stuff. Men don't fall in love because of a plate of food or a selfie or a smile. A man falls in love when his soul gets touched in a way he didn't even know was possible. Man can meet a lot of women in his lifetime. He can go on dates, laugh at jokes, enjoy a good meal, even feel some chemistry. But that don't mean he's in love. That just means he's entertained for the moment. Attraction is easy, connection is rare. What makes a man really fall in love is when that connection hits him so deep that he knows, I can't get this anywhere else. See, attraction is like the spark when you strike a match, but connection is the fire that keeps burning even when the wind blows. And men, we know the difference when it shows up. Let me put it this way. A man can admire your beauty. He can compliment your style. He can tell you that you're fine. He can love the way you look when you walk in the room. But beauty alone doesn't tie him down, because beauty fades to the background if there's no substance holding it up. That connection, though, that soul-to-soul feeling that makes him pause. It makes him think twice before he steps away, because now he realizes, this woman don't just look good, she feels like home. And when a man feels like he found home, that's when love starts taking root. You ever notice how a man can date someone and still seem restless? He's present, but his mind is somewhere else. That's because attraction alone never settles a man. But when he connects with a woman on a deeper level, all of a sudden he's not restless anymore. He's focused. He starts prioritizing her. He starts checking in, not because he has to, but because he wants to. He wants to know how she's doing, what's on her mind, what's in her heart. That's when he's no longer just liking her. He's starting to love her. And connection ain't built in a day, it's built in moments. It's in the way you listen to him when he talks about his dreams, not laughing at them, but encouraging them. It's in the way you understand his struggles without using them against him. It's in the comfort you bring when he's tired of fighting the world. That connection is like oxygen to a man who's been holding his breath too long. He didn't even know how much he needed it until you gave it to him. And now that he's got it, he ain't trying to let it go. Another thing about connection is it makes a man vulnerable in ways he never thought he could be. Most men walk around with walls up. We've been taught to be tough, not to cry, not to show weakness. But when a man finds that connection, those walls start crumbling without him even realizing it. He'll tell you secrets he's never told anybody. He'll open up about fears he's been hiding. He'll share his doubts, his insecurities, his worries about the future. And when you handle that vulnerability with care, when you don't use it against him, that's when love grabs him by the heart, because he realizes, I'm safe here. I'm accepted here. I'm loved here. And let me be real with you. Men don't fall in love with every woman they meet. No matter how beautiful, no matter how successful, no matter how impressive she is. What makes him fall is when he feels something so unique, so personal, so irreplaceable, that he knows losing it will cost him more than he's willing to pay. That's when he fights for it. That's when he commits to it. That's when he tells the world, this is my woman, and I'm not going anywhere. So understand this. Attraction may get his attention, but connection keeps his heart. And when that connection is strong enough, when it's deep enough, when it makes him feel like no one else can take your place, That's when a man truly falls in love. Men go through enough chaos out there in the world. Every day he's dealing with stress from his job, pressure from society, and the battles he fights in silence that he don't even talk about. Now when he comes home, he don't want more of the same storm he's been fighting all day. He wants peace. And I'm not talking about silence. I'm talking about that deep comfort, that calm energy, that sense that he can breathe around you without pretending. That's when a man really begins to fall in love, when he realizes that you don't bring drama into his life, you bring peace. Drama is everywhere. The world got enough of it. His phone buzzing nonstop with noise, people demanding his time, everybody pulling at him. But love is when he can sit down next to you, maybe not even say a word, and feel lighter just because you're there. Love is when your presence feels like a safe place. When he's with you, the tension in his shoulders eases, the frown on his face softens, and he feels like he can finally lay his armor down. That's not just affection, that's love taking root. See, men will entertain drama, but they won't marry it. They may get caught up in somebody who's fun for a minute, who's exciting because of the roller coaster ride, but that ride gets old real quick. No man wants to live in an emotional battlefield every day. No man wants to constantly defend himself against arguments, accusations, and games. That's exhausting. But when he finds a woman who brings peace, who gives him balance, who doesn't always bring a storm, but instead teaches him how to find shelter, that's the woman who captures his heart for real. Peace doesn't mean being quiet all the time or never disagreeing. It doesn't mean letting things slide or not speaking your truth. Peace means you handle disagreements with respect instead of tearing each other down. It means you know when to push and when to pause. It means you give him space to regroup without making him feel guilty for needing it. That's the kind of love that heals a man, because most of the time, he ain't gonna find that anywhere else. Out in the world, everybody demanding, everybody expecting, but you, the woman who gives him peace, you become the difference maker. And you'll notice something. When a man feels peace with a woman, he starts moving differently. He don't feel the need to run the streets. He don't feel the need to hide his phone. He don't feel the need to keep his guard up. Instead, he gravitates toward her. He wants to spend more time with her. He wants to protect that peace because he knows how rare it is. That's when you'll see a man who used to be restless suddenly settle down. That's when you'll see him shift from just dating to really loving. You know why? Because peace allows him to dream again. When he's not caught up in constant arguments, when he's not walking on eggshells, when he's not stressing about being misunderstood, he has energy left to focus on his future. And when you're the woman connected to that peace, you become part of that future automatically. He starts imagining you in every plan because he can't picture moving forward without the person who makes his life feel stable and whole. Think about it. Anybody can bring excitement. Anybody can stir emotions, but very few people can make you feel calm in your spirit. That's why when a man finds a woman who makes his world less chaotic, he values her more than words can describe. He knows what it feels like to live without peace, and he knows what it feels like to finally have it. Once he tastes that, there's no going back. He's not searching for more drama. He's locking down the person who gives him rest. So when you ask, when does a man truly fall in love? It's when he sees that you don't add to his storms. You calm them. You don't weigh him down. You lift him up. That peace is like gold to him. And once he realizes you're the one who brings it, That's the moment his heart falls and falls hard. Every man on this earth is going to face hard times. Struggles don't skip nobody. He might lose a job, face money problems, deal with family issues, or fight battles inside his own head that nobody even sees. And let me tell you, it's easy to find people who will stand by you when everything's good. It's easy to have company when the money's flowing, the laughs are coming, and life looks shiny. But when life turns dark, when the road gets rough, when the bank account is thin and the weight on his shoulders feels heavier than ever, that's when a man finds out who's really with him. And ladies, that's also when a man finds out if the woman by his side is the one he can't let go of. Because loyalty in the storm, that's what locks his heart in. See, a man might enjoy being around someone who's only there for the good times, but he ain't gonna give his heart to that, because deep down, every man wants to know, if I fall, will she still be here? If the answer is yes, if she shows up with patience, with understanding, with that ride or die spirit, then he knows he's found something real. That's the woman he looks at and says, I can build a life with her. She's not just here for the shine, she's here for the grind. That kind of loyalty is rare, and that's exactly why it makes him fall. Loyalty doesn't mean perfection. It doesn't mean agreeing on everything, and it doesn't mean pretending the struggles don't exist. Loyalty means when the struggle shows up, you don't disappear. You don't start pointing fingers. You don't start blaming. You don't start threatening to leave. Instead, you stand with him. You say, we'll figure this out together. You offer him encouragement instead of judgment. That's the kind of action that cuts deeper than words. Because in those moments, when he feels like he's failing, your loyalty tells him you're not alone. And that feeling, that's love's foundation right there. Let me tell you something about men. Most of us carry pride heavy. When we go through struggles, we don't always like to admit it. We don't like to show weakness. We don't like people to see us when we're vulnerable. But if a man lets you into that space, if he lets you see him at his lowest, that means he trusts you on a level that very few ever reach. And when you don't turn that trust into a weapon, when you don't throw it back at him later, that's when he knows he can't afford to lose you. He realizes you've seen him at his worst and you still chose to stand by him. That's when he falls in love on a whole new level. Now understand, loyalty during hard times doesn't always look like big dramatic gestures. Sometimes it's small things that mean the world. It's checking on him when he's quiet. It's reminding him of his worth when he doubts himself. It's supporting his vision even when it looks impossible at the moment. It's the patience to let him figure things out without making him feel like less of a man. All of that builds trust. And trust is the oxygen love breathes on. Without it, love suffocates. With it, love flourishes. And here's the truth. Anybody can be around for the laughter, the vacations, the romantic dinners. But the woman who holds his hand when the lights are off, when the bills are late, when his confidence is low, that's the woman who cements her place in his heart. He'll never forget it. Years later, even when life improves, even when he's standing tall again, he'll always remember who stood with him when he was down. And that memory alone will keep him loyal to you because you proved yourself when it mattered most. So when does a man's heart lock in? It's when he sees loyalty that doesn't fade with struggle. It's when he realizes your love isn't dependent on conditions. That's when he knows you're not just temporary, you're forever. And once he realizes that, there ain't no turning back. Every man wants to feel like he's moving forward in life. Deep inside, no matter how tough he looks, no matter how confident he talks, every man has dreams, goals, and a vision of the man he wants to become. The problem is, a lot of men don't always know how to get there. Sometimes life distracts them, sometimes fear holds them back, and sometimes they just get comfortable where they are. And that's where the right woman comes in. Because there's a big difference between a woman who pressures him and a woman who inspires him. Pressure feels like a weight on his back. Inspiration feels like wings on his shoulders. And when a man finds a woman who makes him want to grow without making him feel small, that's when he falls in love. See, pressure comes with criticism. Pressure says, you're not enough right now. Pressure makes him feel judged, cornered, and compared. And no man responds well to that. A pressured man shuts down. He feels attacked, so he gets defensive. He feels nagged, so he avoids. He feels like he can't win, so he stops trying altogether. But inspiration is different. Inspiration says, I believe in you. Inspiration says, I see the best in you, even if you don't see it yet. Inspiration doesn't tear a man down for where he is. It lifts him up toward where he could be. And let me tell you, a man will never forget the woman who makes him believe in himself again. A man falls for the woman who doesn't just love who he is today, but also encourages the man he can be tomorrow. She's the one who celebrates his small wins, who pushes him gently when he's slacking, and who reminds him that he's capable of more without making him feel worthless. That's powerful. That's love that motivates. And it's not about money or status. It's about character. It's about becoming a better man in every area of his life, because he's connected to someone who fuels his spirit instead of draining. And here's the truth. Most men don't talk about this, but we need that kind of inspiration. We might walk around acting like we've got it all figured out, but the right kind of encouragement from the right woman can change the whole trajectory of our lives. It's not about her doing the work for us. It's about her believing enough in us that we want to rise to the occasion. We want to be better, not just for ourselves, but because she sees something great in us, and we don't want to let her down. That's when a man starts thinking differently, moving differently, and loving differently. But let me be clear, inspiration doesn't mean settling for less and hoping he'll change. Inspiration doesn't mean tolerating bad behavior or carrying all the weight while he drags his feet. That's not inspiring, that's enabling. Real inspiration challenges him, but it does it with love. It says, I know you're capable of more, and I'll stand beside you while you go after it. That balance of love and accountability, that's what separates inspiration from pressure. And that's what makes a man attach his heart to a woman for life. When a man feels inspired instead of pressured, he doesn't feel like he's losing himself in the relationship. He feels like he's discovering his better self. He feels proud to show up for her. He feels motivated to build with her. And he starts realizing that she's not just a partner in love, she's a partner in growth. That's not the kind of bond you walk away from. That's the kind of bond you protect, you commit to, you cherish. So when does a man fall in love in this way? It's when he feels that you're not pushing him out of frustration, but lifting him up with faith. When your belief in him makes him start believing in himself. When he looks at you and sees that being with you doesn't mean losing, it means leveling up. That's when his love deepens. That's when it locks in. And that's when he knows he's found the one. A man can be attracted to beauty. He can be entertained by charm. but those things fade fast if there's nothing solid holding them up. Looks might catch his attention, charm might make him smile, but what keeps him coming back, what makes him stay, is consistency and trust. See, every man has met someone who could dazzle him for a moment, but moments don't build love. What builds love is knowing that day after day, you're the same person he can rely on. Consistency is powerful because it creates safety. When you're consistent, he doesn't have to guess which version of you he's going to get. He doesn't have to wonder if your love is real one day and gone the next. He sees the steady pattern of who you are, and that steadiness becomes the foundation of his feelings. A man falls deeper for the woman who proves through her actions that she means what she says and says what she means. That kind of dependability makes him trust you with parts of himself he doesn't show the world. And trust, that's gold to a man. Trust is what allows him to be vulnerable. Trust is what lets him put his guard down after years of keeping it up. Without trust, love can't survive. But when he trusts you, when he knows you won't betray him, won't play with his heart, won't expose his weaknesses, that's when his love grows stronger than anything looks or charm could ever give him. Because beauty can turn heads, but trust and consistency capture heart. When a man realizes you're not just about the show, you're about the substance, he knows he's found something rare. He stops worrying about the surface and starts appreciating the depth. And that's when he falls in love, not with just how you look or how you act in a moment, but with a steady, trustworthy woman you prove yourself to be every single day. A man can handle a lot in life, but one thing he can't live without is respect. You can give him attention, you can give him affection, but if he doesn't feel respected, his soul stays empty. Respect is the fuel that keeps a man's heart alive because it speaks to who he is at his core. When a woman shows a man that she respects him, not just when he's winning, not just when he's shining, but even in the struggles, that's when his love for her grows deep in riding with him. That's the other half of it. A man doesn't just want somebody who's there for the ride when the car is smooth, the gas tank is full, and the road is clear. He wants somebody who will stay buckled in when the road gets bumpy, when the car breaks down, when the destination feels far. That's loyalty, that's commitment. And when he sees you standing beside him through all of that, that's when he looks at you and says, "This is my woman. This is who I'm giving my heart to." See, men don't fall in love with pressure or with games. They fall in love with the one who makes them feel like they are enough, like they are valued, like they are worthy of being believed in. Respect tells a man, "I see you, I honor you." Riding with him tells a man, "I'm here no matter what." Put those two together and you've got the strongest bond he could ever ask for. That's when real love takes over, not because you demanded it, not because you chased it, but because you show him that you're not just with him for what he has, you're with him for who he is. And once a man knows he's got that kind of woman, his heart ain't going nowhere.